What was it? Sri Nagavacha, the great saint Narada Muni said, Iti, thus, Uktaha, address, Devaka Guruna, by the supreme spiritual master of everyone, Tam, unto him, Pranamaya, offering obeisances, Devokasa, all the demigods, Nevartanta, return, Gata Udveka, relieved of all anxieties, Menire, they consider, Cha, also, Asuram, the demon Hiranyakashipu, Atam, killed. Translation. The great saint Narada Muni continued. When the Supreme Person of God, the spiritual master of everyone, thus reassured all the demigods living in the heavenly planets, they offered their respectful obeisances unto him and returned. Confident that the demon Hiranyakashipu was now practically dead. Purport. The less intelligent men who are always busy worshipping the demigod should not note that when the demigods are harassed by the demons, they approach the Supreme Person of Godhead for relief. Since the demigod resort to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, why should the worshipper of the demigods not approach the Supreme Lord for whatever benefits they desire? Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10 says, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udara divrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. Whether one desires everything or nothing, or whether he desires to merge into the existence of the Lord, he is intelligent only if he worships Lord Krishna, the Supreme Person of Godhead. By rendering transcendental loving service, whether one is a karmi, jnani, or yogi, if one wants a particular benediction fulfilled, if it by even if it be material, one should approach the Supreme Lord and pray to him, for then it will be fulfilled. There is no need to approach any demigod separately for the fulfillment of any desire. ओमज्ञानतप्रदस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदामयं ददाति स्वयं पदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतात्मकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सर्वदा रघुनाथामितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं साधुतं कृष्ण कृष्ण चैतन्य देव श्री राधा कृष्ण पादा सगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामले नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो भावधन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने भक्ति श्री हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। I'm seeking the blessings of all the Vaishnavas to bless me, especially in case down the road. So bless me so that I can speak on this Srimad Bhagavatam topics, which is like giving purification for every devotee, everyone. So, Hare Krishna. So the theme, which is continues going on from many days, Hiranyakashipu terrorized the universe, and we know that how the Hiranyakashipu created so many disturbances all over the universe, especially now that the section which is going on is just creating disturbances in the life of a demigod by going to their places and living in that place and all making all the demigods they work under him, and in this way He was just creating so much difficulties for the demigods. And after that, actually, the last week, the verse which I got is similar to this verse only. I think it's a mercy of Krishna that I can continue the same theme only. I just go to that verse 7:4:21. Okay, I will repeat same like this only. That verse explained that when the demigods was going through so many difficulties by the Hiranyakashipu's so much terrorism. So then they were not able to understand what should they do. Then they came together on one place and they decided where to go. And they understood that the only shelter is Krishna. Sharana, we will take shelter of the Achyuta. So when we take shelter of the Achyuta, then Lord will fulfill our all desires. So after then, all the predominant deities of the different planets, they started looking to through that direction where the great source always go, and they never return back after going to spiritual world. And they started praying to the Supreme Person of Godhead. And because Supreme Person of Godhead is merciful to all the living entities, especially it is mentioned here there, because they are representing the Supreme Person of Godhead demigods by working under his guidance. So then he's very much happy to, so he's always helping them to give protection. So then they're not able to see the form of the Lord, but they heard the voice, which mentions like a very trembling voice, like a cloud make the sound. So then the Lord told them that do not fear, because it's a very soon I'm going to appear. And because all of you are like my representative, so when one is creating disturbances to the life of demigods, and especially last verse was there when Hiranyakashipu started creating different disturbances in the life of my pure devotee Prahlad, then I will kill him. So he's waiting for that moment. And in between, the Lord told them, by that time, you should always continue remembering me through the process of chanting and hearing. And the verse which today is explaining that after getting assurance from the Supreme Person Godhead, all demigods they become very happy, and then they return to their own places abode. So in the both which I discussed 7.421 and 7.429 purport, Prabhupada is giving the same thing, same purport, especially about the worshipper of the demigods. Prabhupada is mentioning that see that when the demigods are in a difficult situation, they're not able to save themselves only. So they are approaching the Supreme Person Godhead for them to save the life. So instead of going through the way the demigod worshipper and then to approach the direct way to Supreme Person Godhead, why the living entity or the people they do not go directly to Supreme Person Godhead and then worship Supreme Person Godhead. In that previous verse, purport was mentioned that the Supreme Person Godhead that verse quoted, Bhoktaram Yagatapasam Sarva Lokameshwaram. Supreme Person Godhead Krishna is the well-wisher friend of all living entities. So they're the best friend. And when one is in difficulty, he should always approach the best friend. And the best friend means is always ready to help. So there Prabhupada mentioned that if one is trying to worship demigods, it is like a dog is trying to cross the ocean by his own way, and the worshipper of the demigods is like catching the tail of a dog and try to cross the ocean, which is not possible. Dog himself is not able to cross the ocean. What to speak of those who are catching the tail of a dog, they will cross. So similarly, the demigods also not able to cross the ocean of this suffering of this material world. And how to speak of to those who are taking shelter of the demigods. That was the last was explaining 7.4.21. Now today also was explaining same thing only. It is if it is mentioned here that the the demigods are taking shelter of the Supreme Person of Godhead and then they are getting help from him. So why we not directly go to the take shelter of the Supreme Person of Godhead? Even we have this material desire. It mentioned it. Akama sarva kama moksha kama dharin tivrena bhakti yogana yatesh purusha param. So even if you have material desire, you're full of desire, no desire of any liberation or whatever you want, you just approach the Supreme Person of Godhead. In this way, you get all the help. So from this, and we understand that actually uh, the glories, the Bhagavatam, which is telling us that how to at every stages, not only the stage we discussed on the last lecture also. I'm just taking the same thing only. because the purport also same and the verse is also explaining the same thing only. So the as we discussed last time also, that why to look for the way when we come in a difficult situation, then only we turn to the Supreme Lord, which is very difficult. Actually, to have mentioned that I was just while doing service in the kitchen, the lecture was going on through her lectures. So that this was point came there. Lord is saying to Arjuna, you just do your fighting, do your duty. For what? What? How to do? By mom and from the very beginning, while starting fighting, you have to remember me. And when the appropriate time comes, you will take shelter of me. So this is a way I can understand the process of devotion service like that only. All the process of devotion service which we are reading, began with Shranam Kirtanam, 9 process of devotion is helping us to every day we will take shelter of Supreme Lord. Not only that, wait for the crisis. So when we are taking shelter of Supreme God every day, in the beginning, the process, what beginning from morning program to the chanting and to the Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is like a when we read Bhagavatam, when we hear Bhagavatam classes, actually every theme of the Bhagavatam is taking us to take shelter, telling us to take shelter of Supreme Person Godhead. And they are telling other side also. What happened to those who are not taking shelter of Supreme Person Godhead? For them, we see that how the the situation created in such a way, then they are also become helpless. So therefore, this when we are engaged in a devotion service, the devotion service is like mean to practice ourselves daily basis to take shelter of Supreme Person Godhead. And when the immediate need will come, the Supreme Person Godhead, by default we can take shelter of Supreme Person Godhead. Not that we have to wait that for whom I take shelter of Supreme Person Godhead. So Prabhupada is mentioning here that even the demigods, those who are like everyone is looking toward them. Those who are worshippers are demigods, they are looking toward the demigods. Whereas the demigods in difficult situation, they are turning to the Supreme Person Godhead. So we see that like the pure devotees, we already mentioned before also, the pure devotees by them, it's natural for them to take shelter of Supreme Person Godhead. Therefore, them it is like a, and when they come to the material world, they just live their life in such a way, and they just remain in the material world, but they are like not in the material world. Like I was hearing class of his great Ashram Prabhu, he was sharing that the pure devotee was like, how are the pure devotees? They are like innocent. They live in the material world. But what for but they always remember to Supreme Person of Godhead. And they don't worry about their safety. Then he gave the example of that, like Jad Bharat. When the dacoits came to take Jad Bharat and trying to take the Bali, means wanted to kill the Jad Bharat by giving sacrifice to the goddess Kali. So then the Jad Bharat not did anything. He just whatever way they wanted to him, he was just going through that. And they fed him nicely, they bathed him nicely, they decorated him very nicely. And then after that, they are putting his head on the that place where they cut his head. And then he also remained in that place only. He was not trying to protest himself that okay, how I can run away from this place. Why? Because he's completely taken shelter of Supreme Lord. Actually, he was not knowing also. We can come to that side there where he's going to die in some time because he's completely absorbed. So he was thinking your duty are like that. Your duty are like a small child who not able to walk also, and they just come out from the home by crawling and then go to the road where the so many buses, trucks will pass through from that road, highway road, and you just sit in between the road, and the trucks are coming, and and at any time he's going to get the accident. But what happened? And he does not know also that the truck will be hit me. But mother is always having the anxiety of take care of the child. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of God always take the anxiety of it to take care of his pure duties. We see that is not the purpose of Lord Narasimha appeared to save the demigods. It is like a second, we can say the like a different purpose is to appear for the Prahlad Maharaj. But while appear Prahlad Maharaj is taking both way, is helping them also. So for the pure devotee, they because pure devotee they always remember the Supreme Lord. For them, there is not a single moment they forget the Krishna, and the Krishna will take care of their anxieties. We see in the case of Arjuna also. We know that how the battle of Kurukshetra was there. Arjuna was peacefully sleeping in the night. He was not any anxiety. Bhishma has taken the vow, tomorrow I will kill Arjuna. I will kill all the Pandavas. But who was taking anxiety? Krishna. So this is a way the the devotees, pure devotees, they live in this material world. And then Lord is taking anxiety for their to take care. So therefore, Arjuna was much peacefully sleeping, but Lord is thinking that how can I save? How can I save? So in this way, we understand that how it is very important to, of course, we have to take lot of stage time to come to this stage, but how we can be get the same kind of experience. Where Lord is mentioning here in one of the verses to demigods, by the time I appear, you always take shelter of me through the process of chanting and hearing, which was already spoken by somebody. Very nicely spoken. So I was thinking that this is a process which you apply for all of our life also, not that for the demigod's life. That you have to work on the trying to take shelter of the Supreme Person of God at every stages. So then when we take shelter of Supreme Person of God, surely the moment will come where for it is easy to take shelter of the Supreme Person of God. And the nature of the material world, which we already know that yesterday also in book reading was going on, small book, the Beyond Birth and Death book was there. There was very nicely explaining the nature of this material world. The nature of material world is that the material world is not meant for any living entity. It is meant for only to give misery to all living entities. It is not that some living entities are getting misery and some living entities are very happily enjoying. No, one may be any kind of. Here we quote many times this verse, and we have quoted that verse also of Brahma Bhuvana Loka. Going to the topmost planet in this material world, Brahma planet, down to the lowest planet, every living entity is suffering. So the nature of this material world is to always give misery, and the purpose of this material world is to the living entity should not remain always in this material world. They should make effort to go out from this place. Otherwise, then this question came. It was like Prabhupada is writing and he's asking question also. Okay, then what question was there? You are asking that. Suppose the nature of material is to always give misery. So who is giving misery? Who is giving misery? It is by Krishna, Krishna only. Because Krishna is our actual father, mother. Krishna is the actual friend, which is well wisher. He is our supreme person of Godhead. And he wanted that his children will not be wrought in this material world. This is not a place for them to live. And therefore, he always wanted to let all the living entity to take shelter of him. And this is the only process to take shelter of the living entity. And therefore, the Lord personally comes by himself in many avatars, many different ways he comes. And he comes, he sends his pure devotees, he sends his given scriptures, he has given his holy name, like Vedvyas, Devapana Vedvyas has given so many scriptures. And all the purpose of scriptures to help us to take shelter of Krishna. So in this way, the purpose of the material world is also to make that anyone will not happy in this material world. Either one may realize by everyday hearing, or one may realize by practical experience, or even seeing also that other is getting suffering, so that can learn from that mistake. Or even if it not done, it will take more time to go through the experience after experience. So therefore, when the living entity is trying to take shelter of the Supreme Person of Godhead by going through this process, then actually the Supreme Person of God is very happy. And I was just and the instruction is simultaneously my everyday reading Bhakti Yoga is also going on. So Bhakti Yoga is teaching about the morning Lord Rishabh Dev instruction is going on from last 3 days. So Lord Rishabh Dev is telling to instruction is 100 sons. So what are the instructions saying that? How the living entities slowly plan his life to achieve the perfection. So you are sharing that the beginning of the famous verses, we always know that how the human life is not meant for the enjoying like a dog and hog. This life is meant for only achieving perfection. So therefore, one should not waste time in just to fulfilling the demands of the material body and the senses. Because the demand of the body and senses, it's never going to end. There is no end. Anyone, if you not find in this material world till now, that one is always fulfilling the body demands of the body and senses, and you told that one day I will satisfy completely. Best example we can set is Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was having everything, except one boy was not against him. Whereas everyone, and except Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, they were against, but wherever everyone was following him, but he was not happy. So similarly, nature of the material world. No matter whatever places, whatever achievement, whatever we know, all the six opulences of the Supreme Lord, if anyone is having not their religion, all the complete and tiny opulences, still will not be happy. So therefore, when the when the divinities try to come out from this tendency to enjoy to seek happiness in this material body and senses, then he has to approach the spiritual master. So then the verses goes like this only, that. So then how to come out of the this tendency to enjoy this material world? By taking shelter of the pure devotee. When we take shelter of the pure devotees, and like uh, there are different kinds of living entity, especially of human beings. I speak. Human beings, they don't wanted to like to take shelter of anyone. And when they somehow or other they come to this understanding that this except all the person, this one person is very good. Who is that person? Whom is a Diksha Guru, who is taken shelter of his pure devotee. So then at least he has some faith on the pure devotee. So he's a whatever his guidance he will give me, I will accept in my life. And then pure devotee slowly tells us from the scriptures that how the other Vaishnavas are very happy, very good. And therefore he put faith on the Vaishnavas also and the process of devotion service. In this way, when he put faith on the pure devotee, then he can come to that stage where he is completely takes shelter of the Supreme Lord. And then he tells the stages, this Lord Rishabh to tell them that there are many living species are there. Among all, the Brahmana is the topmost. Of course, before that, he told all the 600 sons that of this Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj is the eldest son. It's not very much eldest, it's like the same age only, but little more mature and little more age and eldest also. But he's telling that you should follow him whatever he say. So if even maybe the question raised, one may say, oh, how can I follow him? I can follow your instruction. He is a supreme person body. I can follow my Narad Muni instruction. But to follow the equal level devotee, to follow the equal person who are with us only, playing with us only, and having and to follow him, and among them one has chosen the to give direct guidance. How can you follow? No, not really. If you follow them, you are pleasing to the me and pleasing to the Brahmanas also. So this is a process which we got actually. The process to go through the medium of the following the superiors, and in this way go to the spiritual master. In this way, Supreme Lord is very much happy. And they told them all the divinity Brahmana is a pure. Who is Brahmana? Brahmana is not Dharmakali Brahmana. Brahmana is pure Vaishnava Brahmana. So Brahmanas are the very dear to the Lord because they are just doing the things which Krishna wanted to do in this world. So therefore, they are only doing that thing. What they are doing the things, they are spreading the message of Supreme Personal Godhead, and they are spreading to the wanted to all the well-wisher of all divinities, and they are giving Krishna to everyone. So therefore, they are very dear to the Lord. So therefore, if one following the Brahmanas means Vaishnavas, devotees, then he become very dear to the Lord. And in this way, slowly he come very closer to the Lord. So these are the stages which Lord Rishabh is explaining to the 100 son. Through the 100 son is giving teaching to all of us. So 100 sons is a way of media of that getting instruction from the Lord Rishabh Dev. So to go through to pleasing the Lord is a way process. So I'm thinking like that. This is the way Prabhupada actually given us the process of mind devotion service, surrender to the spiritual master, and the guidance of the spiritual master will practice devotion service. And this is the greatest gift one can give the spiritual master when the disciples is very like to hear the message which he is going to give. When the disciples very attentively to listen the message of the spiritual master, then the spiritual master very much happy. And then the Supreme Lord will happy, which is actually way the Lord told to demigods in between the verses it comes that by the time I will appear, you just remember me through the instruction of this, through Sharanam and Kirtanam. And there is no other way we can be many other ways, but these are the topmost ways mentioned here. So till the time Lord will appear. And slowly, when we take short of this process, then surely we'll get the mercy of Supreme Lord. So which Prabhupada is mentioning here, which demigods worshipper very difficult to worship to take short of the demigods by this understanding. But when we instead of even having material desire, why we are not taking short of the Supreme Lord? And then the process when we take short of Supreme Lord, our heart gets purified. And then we don't look for these material desires. Okay, and it's 7:45. I'll stop here only. If someone want to any question or someone want to give any comment. Harish.
Under the category of Sarva approaching, you should approach Krishna even if you have all material desires. Prabhupada sometimes refers to, often refers to the Christian prayer, God give us this day our daily bread. And sometimes he doesn't give them much credit. He sort of minimizes it a little bit. It's not very advanced devotion, but most of the time he says, well, the good thing is they're going to God. So whatever there's the precious little pure surrender to Krishna in this world, especially in Kali Yuga, that whatever tendency someone has to sincerely go to God for any reason is appreciated and encouraged. So then Prabhupada makes that point very clear.
Just reflecting on that, taking shelter of Lord, you're saying that in the beginning, and somebody remembrance, you're saying that. Power is pretty good. What are the point you're trying to make that when somebody starts remembering, and eventually he will take shelter? Because it's like remembrance also is like taking shelter.
Yeah.
So,
But every, like in that case of Arjuna, is saying that doing your duty while doing your duty, remember me and do your duty. So the living entity, whatever way is engaged in different activities. So how to remember Krishna in that activities? By taking shelter of the process. Miss Krishna is able to take shelter of me, and then you can remember me like this about the activities.
so basically, remembering is like taking shelter.
Okay. Yes.
And also, you're saying this. What you want to say?
Okay.
No, you're also saying that by spiritual master, we get to know about the process of devotional service, like
Yes.
prescribes. So basically, this whole attempt of taking shelter is what I understand is through the instructions of spiritual master. So spiritual master helps the. So you're saying that first, a living entity conditioned soul puts faith in the spiritual master
Yes.
at the beginning. And then, because of his help, he
Yes,
can develop faith in many other Vaishnavas and all the whole community of Vaishnavas like this. So that's how his surrender is increasing.
Yes.
Right. So because he's able to follow the Supreme Lord through so many Vaishnavas, submitting to so many Vaishnavas like that.
Yes.
So first, so spiritual master is the first, and then he makes him become more and more surrendered to Hari Guru Vaishnava and all like that. That's what.
Yes. Yes. So when he previously, like every person has a different natures. Like I'm trying to give the example of that who does not like to associate with anyone. So when he gets some association of some great souls and he's wanted to take a diksha from him, and then at least he has some feeling of that, so that he at least I can hear from him. And when he hear, then he give the knowledge of the scriptures, and the knowledge of scripture is said to develop more and more faith on the Hari Guru Vedapath. And then he slowly increase like that.
So that's the greatest fortune, no? To be the spiritual master. And then, and once he's under training of the spiritual master, very sincerely, then he'll become actually surrendered devotee. So if he gives up his spiritual master, if he's casual over his spiritual master, the teachings and training, then he will not able to blossom as surrendered devotee.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you for this class. Very nicely you emphasized that throughout Bhagavatam is emphasizing that we should take shelter of the Supreme Lord under all circumstances. And in the beginning, you were mentioning how taking shelter of the demigods is like trying to cross the ocean where holding on to the tail of a dog. So, Prabhu, now in our Kali Yuga setup, we don't see that people are taking shelter of the demigods much, but we still see that people have that shelter taking tendency. They take shelter of fallible soldiers around. That, oh, if I my boss, my colleagues, they are saving me. They are by their mercy, I'm being maintained. Or yeah, one sees some member of the opposite gender as a source of pleasure, forgetting that ultimately all pleasure comes from Krishna. Uh, Forgetting that ultimately Krishna is providing everything that we need, as well as he is the greatest bestower of all pleasure among the living entity. So, Prabhu, how do we always stay aligned with this reality that ultimately I don't have to seek pleasure in all these fallible soldiers, pleasure as well as they are not the source of my maintenance.
You already answered it. Well, you want to give summary?
Asking question and replying.
I think you should summarize what answer already you gave.
Actually, one Mataji wrote letter was mailed to the Rasham group that uh, that that her husband still after getting initiation still he is worshipping the demigods. So then Rasham wrote her that you please tell him to attend some this reading classes of Prabhupada books because he is avidya. It becomes the people don't have knowledge of the scriptures. So he may be innocent because he does not have the knowledge of scriptures. So but when he read Prabhupada books, then Prabhupada's the like just here the verse is telling. And all throughout the Prabhupada book, the same message only. Whether it's like small books, the big book, that the worship the Supreme Person of God from the beginning only. So you understand that the only purpose, only our shelter is Supreme Lord. And what you are speaking about that we maybe many people are not worshipping demigod, but they are taking shelter of their own under this skill or talent or whatever we are sense get on this thing. This is like the nature of the living entity, because the purpose of this material world is to come to enjoy separate from Krishna. And therefore, till the time he has to give up this mentality of enjoying separate from Krishna, to the time he has to be remain this material world. So therefore, we have to take shelter of the Vaishnavas only and the scriptures to understand that actually this is not actually my shelter. This is only binding me in the life after life after life after life in this material world only. No matter how much income I have from the big companies, no much how much like yesterday only I was reading that someone said, oh, okay, I have a big skyscraper building, I have a big car, I have a beautiful wife, I have big nice everything. So I'm very happy. Why are we required to take shelter of the law? No, this thing is not makes you happy. This thing is that is going to end at any time, and whatever time you are in this to get these things, also you have to work very hard, and so many people also are there to compete with you, and there is so many challenges. So it is not that you are living peaceful while having achieving all these things. So when we understand this, actually these are not the way the sources of my happiness. These are the like only the mind and senses which are looking for the pleasure to enjoy the different objects. So these are things only just fulfilling the demand of the objects, and which is not going to end. There's no end. In the scripture told that okay, after fulfilling the demands of the body and the material mind and senses, you are just now peaceful. No, it goes on increasing. It is like putting fuel on the to stop the fire. It goes on increasing. So there is no so therefore we have to take shelter of the Vaishnavas and take shelter of the scriptures and proper understanding, practice Krishna consciousness. And especially when we come out from this material desire, we have to purify heart. Process even for the purification. And when we purify, then we can easily connect ourselves with the Supreme Lord Krishna, that who I am, what is my identity. So the what process we have is for that purpose only. Just take sincerely and avoid do's and don'ts. Okay. Anything? Speak.
I feel though sometimes we know a lot, but application is
Yeah.
lacking.
That is there.
So application point is like something one has to, it has to come from a sincere effort to do some practical actions in current life. Otherwise, like how we stop taking shelter of fallible souls. So I mean, when I should come translate all these teachings in a practical life, and this is under the close guidance of superiors,
Yeah.
one can work on removing those aspects where we are unnecessarily getting into, and getting on the right track of taking shelter of Krishna more and more. So this some kind of sincere effort has to be required in the practical life also. Like he may exhort down, okay, this thing I will not do, this thing I will do, this thing I should avoid. So there has to be like clear cut, practical things should be done. Some sincere efforts to be taken. So I was feeling.
Yeah, this is true actually. Because we understand what are the things I'm lacking, what are the things that I just stopping me to take more and more shelter, and then they work on that. Like when we do this homework nicely, whatever, and then Krishna will be pleased actually about that, and then he will give more mercy. Like we see that the verses are there Bhagavatam that every day when we take shelter of the Bhagavatam, like Krishna himself is present in the heart of the saint. And so then he himself clean the heart. So when we take some steps towards Krishna, then Krishna will happy and will give help, more help. So these are the stages. What you told that we can work on our life by taking guidance of the superior, and in this way we can make our life nice. Yeah, this is true. So this process ought actually, and when we take initiative to clean our heart for myself, then all the mercy will come from everywhere. Okay, I will stop. श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय,
जय।
प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
हरे कृष्ण।
We love introduction.